What is going on? So today, welcome back. It's been a while. It's been about 3 weeks since I had my last video, I believe. Today we'll be starting up the live stream once again. And before I do that, I want to release very excitingly the first video of our build series. You may have seen before on one of our prior live streams when I showed the bikes that I'm going to be working on. Today will be the first video released of the build series introducing the bike behind me right here. That's the 77 Honda CB750 Hondamatic, and I'll be walking through a little bit of the things that I'm going to be working on that bike. I've gotten the bike to a good point. Unfortunately, I did a lot of the build prior to starting the channel, and so I got a good jump start on the bike already, and I'll be taking off from here. I luckily have shot a lot of video and got a couple episodes in the books right now that I'll be releasing later. But today I recorded the introduction to the bike. So just kind of an overall view of, what the bike started at and where I'm at now and where I'll be going later with the bike. So even though I've done a lot of the build already, I thought this would be a good opportunity and a good starting point to start the build series on this bike. So now it's going to be stripping it down and doing all the final welding, the painting, the final process of the bike build. And I'll be sprinkling in a little bit of the previous work that I did. I have a lot of that recorded, and so you won't miss out on the entire build of what I've done so far. So, hope you enjoy. Hey guys, Dustin from Project Moto. So this is the first episode of our build series. Today I'll be showing you the first bike that we'll be building for the channel. Here it is. This is a 1977 Honda CB750 Hondamatic. I purchased this from my father-in-law, and when I first got the bike, found it in the back of his garage, and it had the big Windjammer 3 fairings on it, the hard plastic white saddlebags. It came a long way. I'll be showing you a little bit today what I've done to it so far and what I have plans to do in the future. So I'll show you a little bit of what I've done so far. So this is this here is a V-rod headlight, a stock forks. This is a headlight windscreen from a Triumph. I believe it's a Bonneville that I just purchased that on Amazon. These exhaust pipes, I don't have them welded on yet or anything, but these were purchased from Dime City Cycles. Rear sets, I haven't got my rear set linkage up yet. These rear sets here are from a 1982 CB750, and I've kind of retrofitted them to work on here because this is going to be a two-seater bike. Here, as you can see, this is not stock. This was actually part of the old stock handlebars, and I chopped it up, put it on both sides, put a smaller battery in it, and threw some covers on it, so this will be the enclosure for all the electronics. This is a Hondamatic, so it's an automatic motorcycle. I just have this temporary, just a little foot switch that I made, because you'll see this bike has no clutch, so it's basically just high, low, and neutral is all that you have on here, and it's basically just give it gas and brakes. So it gives the handlebars a real clean look, not a lot of cables, not a lot of levers, anything like that. So I'm trying to take advantage of that. I'm not quite sure. I thought about possibly doing something a little bit more crazy, like maybe throwing some linkage up and doing some sort of a suicide shifter. That look on this bike would be really clean, just because of the fact that you don't have to run a clutch on the suicide shifter, which you would in most cases, unless you do like a foot clutch. So you'll just basically have you know, some sort of a lever or something. I haven't made a final decision on that, but basically I've gotten the bike down to the final fabrication steps. I've chopped the back end, welded a seat hoop in there. I have not done the brake light yet. This seat I made and upholstered myself, and I have some different shocks going on it on the back. I think I'm going to be chopping down this bracket a little bit. This headlight bracket is not the final product. Either is the V-Rod headlight. I bought that V-Rod headlight basically just as fitting. I'll be buying a new one later, but I'm going to be using this headlight on a couple builds I have coming up. So I thought I'd buy a cheap one off of eBay just so I can, you know, use it for fitting and whatnot. And when I'm done with it, I'll put the nice new one on there. There's so much stuff to talk about on this bike. I wanted the top end up here pretty clean. I do have to shave these triples down, this top triple down a little bit. I haven't exactly figured out the design that I'm going to do for that. And I'll have to I believe I'm going to relocate the key start cylinder somewhere, maybe down in this area. Not really sure on that yet, but I did want to give it a cleaner, simpler look, but I did not want to go with the typical, you know, just throw a big triangular panel in there. So I did change it up a little bit and kept it a little bit wide open. So I wanted to get a good video of the introduction of this bike before my next step, which is next weekend. I'll be stripping this bike down completely, getting all the frame, everything painted. A lot of the paint that I have done on it right now, like this, the tank, all this is actually just Plastidip, and I use that primarily just for the purpose of seeing how it's going to look. The next video that's going to come out will be a fun one because I'm going to pull this bike up in Photoshop. Now that I got some good side angle and every angle pictures of the bike out in the open, it's going to allow me to do some good Photoshop and get pictures done, play with the colors a little bit, you know, make some good final decisions before I commit to the paint. You know, I may do something like you know, paint the wheels, engine paint, side panels, if I want to do any painting on the tank, anything different with the upholstery on the seat. So there's a lot of things to go over. I actually think I'm going to be doing some wider, meatier tires on this also. These tires on it, even though I've ripped around on it a little bit, they're pretty dangerous. They're about 15 years old and got plenty of cracks in them. They are tubes, so that, you know, helps a little bit. But I'll be putting some thicker, meatier tires on it. I'll probably be going as wide as I can go, and I do have a decent amount of play, pretty much as wide as these rims will let me go. I haven't figured out for sure what I don't want to do for a front fender. If I want to shave these down and make it look clean and paint the forks, those are all decisions that I'll be making later, but that gives you a good first look of, you know, the bike, the stance, everything that it's going to be, how it's going to pretty much look when it's done, other than the final paint. And let's see, what else am I forgetting? Oh, I don't have these linkages. These are kind of, I haven't gotten these, you know, fine-tuned yet as far as the brake linkage. I haven't got them settled in yet exactly, but I got it thrown on there just to make sure that I have the pieces that are going to make it work. So that in particular was pretty tricky. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep with the solid rod there, or if I'm going to switch to a cable type rear brake assembly. I'm not really sure, but yeah, now that I got pretty much all the fabrication done, then that is going to allow me to strip this down. I can do all the final welds on it. You can see a lot of this stuff here. It was pretty much just tacked up, and you know, I got a lot of tabs and stuff I need to cut yet, and get the frame, you know, clean and ready for paint. But yeah, just finishing up some of these welds, and we should be ready for the final stage of this. leave a comment, leave a like, hit the bell, subscribe, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. I appreciate everyone for watching the video, and we'll see you soon.